There comes a time in every man's life where he has to learn whether or not he will fulfill his destiny. Speaking of destiny, his controls and keyboards. I'm Kyle Snow. With me, I got Ryan Power.
Hello. Sorry, I've switched destinies to, I've been overwatching something, I'll say. But yeah, I'm here. We're going to talk a little games. We also have another person with us.
Nope,
It's been a bit since
that's just us.
He's been here, but one and only, Christopher motherfucking Miller.
I love video games. Video games are in life.
I like turtles.
You like video games so much that you haven't been on any of the recent casts,
Hey.
Chris?
Hey,
So normally we get into what we've been playing.
Just
Normally that's
cut
what
some
we
off.
do.
Sorry, Chris.
But to keep things concise and moving this week, we're gonna let what we're playing marinate a little, because I know, just to give a quick rundown, I know Kyle, you've been playing some more Breath of the Wild.
I actually haven't been playing any Breath of the Wild lately. I've been
Horizon Zero Dawn starts tonight.
Okay,
I have
so
the day
for
off
Chris,
tomorrow.
for Chris, what he's been soaking in is Horizon. For Kyle, what have you been soaking in?
I haven't
You will-
played it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I said for Chris. what
Yeah,
have
yeah, I
been-
cut you
sorry.
off, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, bitch,
Kyle,
man.
what have you been playing, Kyle?
Dude, you know what I've been playing? Playing Overwatch. I've been playing Yakuza.
There you go.
And we've been
Yakuza,
playing.
yeah, that's
The
what
three of us have been playing a lot of Overwatch together.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. I've also been digging into Uncharted 4, which I just got for my birthday.
Dude,
How do you like
years
it?
ago.
I know we're not really talking about.
Yeah,
but how'd you like it?
I'll dig into it more when I played all of it, but I'm
Fine.
only on chapter 8.
Are you liking it at least? Will you say yes? Or...
Yeah, the writing's real good.
it's the
I haven't
strongest by
played it yet.
far.
I haven't
Chris,
played it
in the
so.
series. It's the strongest by far in the series.
Cool.
Yeah, the writing's the best and it's been in the series. I don't know if I think it's the best game in the series. We'll see yet.
I do, but I also
gameplay-wise,
love grapple hooks.
I've enjoyed it, but I've enjoyed it, but it's not revolutionary. I mean, I've done a lot of climbing, jumping, and I still enjoy it. So
I played some Assassin's Creed in my day.
You don't
Yeah,
shoot anybody
exactly.
in Assassin's Creed, Chris.
no, but
Actually, there are
parkour.
guns
Yeah, but, oh yeah, fucking right. Oh, it's the 1400s.
and crossbows.
Well,
yeah,
that's
gunpowder. Well, it's not always the 1400s. Assassin's
I
Creed. isn't
know.
the 1400s.
Oh, for me,
It's
Assassin's Creed was Assassin's Creed 2, and that's it.
yeah, but I mean the animus, the whole setting is that
I
you.
mean,
can go
dude,
anywhere.
Black Flag's fantastic.
Yeah, I
I
actually
don't
never played Black Flag. I've heard it's good.
know.
I like
Black
pirates.
Flag's like legitimately
Don't get me
really
wrong,
good.
don't
It's a
get me wrong,
canon though. At that point,
3
really.
sucked some serious garbage. and I
it's
haven't
so
Wonder
bad.
buses, man.
I haven't
Which
played
one
anything
sucked?
since then, but
3.
I never played it. I played Brotherhood,
is garbage.
and I skipped 3, and I went to Revelation. No, I went to Revelations, and it's 3. I skipped 3, and I played Black
This
Flag.
is-
I played Unity is hot garbage.
I don't know, dude. Haven't
and
you
honestly,
seen that that everyone's been
Yeah.
always been laughing at with the fucking.
I
girl with the
actually
missing
don't
face?
mind. I don't mind Syndicate, but I know a lot of people don't like it for some reason. I don't know.
That's on
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper, right?
Yeah, like well, that's a DLC, but yeah,
London Town.
I thought the really upgraded the killing a lot. It's a lot more impactful. But anyway,
Yeah. So maybe we'll talk AC again. There's a new one coming at some point this year. I think.
Isn't there
They took
always?
last year- no, they took last year.
no, they took a year off
As the fir-
finally.
As the first time it's ever happened to refocus. Instead of doing one
They're
every
doing-
year,
they're
now they're
doing
going to do
Egypt?
one every couple of years.
That's better. That's what you
I think-
should do.
Yeah,
So this
they're
game's
doing
gonna get rushed.
Egypt. I believe is what it's confirmed. They're going to do Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be cool.
I'm going to be on board. I might. Play
I think
Egypt.
so.
I'll be on board again if they ever go to Russia because I just want to hear Russians.
They probably
I want
will.
murdering Russians. Give me okay, you know what they need to do? They need to set it more modern. They need to stop just saying
American
old time,
assassin
old times.
going after Putin.
No, not that modern.
Chris, it has to be
like-
ancestors.
Yeah.
It has to be at
That's
least
true.
one generation
That's
back.
true.
So go like 1940s to 60s, like KGB ass Russia, like real spy shit. You know what I mean? But old
Yeah.
school.
They're also
that'd be cool.
they're
Stalin
bringing back
with
the
with tweed suits and hats and dark lights and
You could do like a couple civilians.
casual sexism.
You could do a couple civilians in Stalingrad, like fuck them with Nazis and stuff, but like not as part of the military. That'd be cool as fuck.
They also
Yeah,
confirmed
or you're part of an internal revolution, and then the Templars of the time are like the evil KGB / government types of Russia.
Oh no, I think you play as a KGB agent.
Shit, but maybe you play as a KGB agent who joins the revolution.
Oh
You
shit!
start as a
Okay.
Templar, but then you see that what they're doing is
Here,
wrong.
I'm gonna really quickly call Assassin's Creed.
And then you have a sidekick buddy that could be a co-op friend, and he plays the CIA agent who's super American, like just
And then you fall in love.
everything. Yeah. You're gay and you fall in love together. Dude,
Yeah.
all the progressives are and one's Latino, one is black. So we've really nailed down all our demographics.
And yep, that's exactly what we do. We can't go with transgenderism though, because that would have been too early for the technology.
The villain has to be a female at that point, then, though, right? Madame President in this alternate timeline. Madame President of Mother Soviet of the.
Yeah, no, Ryan. The timeline is canon, but it goes back to where like Red Alert 2 split.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have Tesla coils and Einstein's
Yuri back. Yeah,
yep, Yuri comes back.
The one thing that's
Creed,
nice
Yuri's
is
Revenge. Done. Book it.
Oh man. Okay, well that's the name of this episode. Assassin's Creed Yuri's Revenge. Let me just put that in chat.
The one nice thing is they're bringing back the human element too with the new one. They've confirmed they're going to do like a human alternate timeline too, kind of like they did with Desmond, because they kind of took that out in the last couple.
Murdered Desmond at the end of 3, Chris.
Yeah, that's the thing. I stopped caring about that story after 3 because they didn't do it justice.
Yeah. They're doing a whole new thing.
So. Everyone was so on board with it after 2. That's part of what made 2 so great. That ending, when they talk to you, the player, and you're like, what? And then you realized, oh shit, there's something bigger going on. And then like all bigger storylines that were going on.
Yeah, and it was all like, who is Desmond?
Halo, I could just keep listing. Even science fiction movies and shows of that era were the same, like Battlestar Galactica, Lost. It was all just hyped to big reveals, and then the big reveal was like, Deus Ex Machina, we actually don't have an answer because this shit's super complicated. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I sent you guys a
picture of
it's just a little screenshot that was leaked this past week, actually, of the Assassin's Creed. So they're calling it Origins, and it's widely believed it's going to be an Egyptian setting.
Okay,
so I think it sounds
How many
pretty
times
neat.
has the word origin been used in a subtitle of a video game?
Overwatch Origins.
Seriously,
God.
Yeah.
No, Overwatch Orange Edition. There was Batman Arkham Origins. I'm pretty sure there's been
This is like a million. I know.
One crazy thing I will say, just because this is kind of on topic, because this was this last week. Apparently, there's going to be no towers. There's been a lot of talk they might do like a true open world, and if they do Egypt, they might do it in a bit more of a natural open world. I don't know. There might be some.
Like you could actually have like a giant fucking sand desert that has nothing in it for like 40 minutes. I'd be on board.
A lot of people are speculating there won't be as much climbing up buildings and jumping off towers.
You have to be able to jump off pyramids, right?
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, but with the setting, it's probably not going to be as easy to do that like it was. With
what needs to change is that they can't all climb up buildings the same way. Like what didn't feel really realistic is that, like, yes, it made sense for Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 to really focus on, because of the setting, there was lots of handholds and buildings were a little smaller. The taller buildings were really tower-like, right? So feasibly climbing something like that is just literally finding footholds and getting up. We don't build nowadays. We have things like skyscrapers. How would you climb that? You wouldn't. So
one thing I
just feel like if they give you like an ability, like let's say just as an example, like a hook shot or something where you just hit a button and you scale the wall, like make it quicker. Like we don't need to spend 20 minutes scaling.
A Syndicate has a grappling hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does Uncharted 4.
Yes, but they don't work in the Uncharted grappling hook doesn't work in that way at all, Kyle.
No, I know. It's actually mostly just
scripted.
Syndicate, you literally shoot it up and then you wall climb up like that. Like
it's like Ryan's character from.
If they were to set it in a modern setting, like you could obviously conceive them coming up with some sort of cyber techno gadget that just lets you scale buildings or something. But I think it'd also be cool if they just went like. It's not that they try to be realistic. It's just that they try to set it in a setting and give your character all the weapons have to be like even though they had guns, it was like steampunk and like things like that, right? I kind of wish they would get a little more goofy with it and give your main character like abilities other than just
like being like 1980s Japan and giving you like a lightsaber, for example.
No, but like why can't you just scale a building like Spider-Man? Who cares? If we're getting sick of trying to find footholds, just let them scale buildings. Give him a power that lets him do that.
You guys imagine a Spider-Man game like Assassin's Creed?
There have been.
That'd actually be kind of but like
the murder
in the full graphics and everything. Like
those were pretty common in like the 2000s, and some of them were actually.
I never played them very much.
I mean, like half of them sucked and half of them were good.
Like
but
to me,
some...
that's been the big issue with Assassin's Creed 2, by the way. Over the years, open world games of that ilk started doing combat and systems and all the stuff that, you know, the Ubisoft template, if you will, that became very popular, better, but they have way better movement abilities. Even look at something like Shadows of Mordor, which has Assassin's Creed style platforming. You can still sprint super fast and get across the map in no time that you just cannot do in Assassin's Creed.
No, you get stuck on a wall.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, look how popular. It's a very different game, but let's not forget how popular MGS5 was too, with how fast you could sprint in that game and get around, and that was
or ride a horse, or
you know, you obviously
anything.
look at the Batman games. You could fly, and then later, of course, you could drive, and then drive and fly. You could cover the distance.
The key to making people happy is being able to cover a massive distance very quickly. It's why people love fast traveling.
It allows them to play the game however they want. People don't want to fast travel. People don't want to.
No, they don't want to, but it's almost a necessity if you're not going to allow that, which is and granted, and even Assassin's Creed hasn't made it that easy to fast travel a lot.
No,
only in recent editions have they started doing that.
You like go to the fast travel spot.
Again, even though they're not realistic, they're trying to sell that realism where you have to walk through the city of crowded streets, and if you go onto a rooftop, you know, you can get places, but you're still slowly scaling the neighbors' buildings and through the pipes, and like again, that type of platform that like even Uncharted was doing. But at a certain point, it's just like you can't do that for a whole game because that's just not fun. Like
no. Uncharted was always really good, like even in the earlier ones of like you'd do like a bunch of climbing and then it's like, okay, well now it's puzzle time and now it's shooting time and now it's story time.
I also think there's an element of skill, not really skill, but in Uncharted, like things will break and you have to quickly tap over to make sure you get onto the ledge. I know when I was playing the first one, like at least when I played the first one, it seemed like a pretty cool way to do it, I thought.
That's why I was under the impression if they didn't want to give you go under the path or the pathos of giving you a bunch of abilities, right? Like to scale buildings quicker or to like navigate the environment quicker, then they should go the other direction and give you the ability to swap characters like GTA 4 did, GTA 5 did. So then you could have characters at different spots in the map that do missions based on, you know, how close you are, or et cetera. And like, because you're in the Animus, you could just stay like, you know, Kyle will just extrapolate our Yuri's Revenge issue. So it's a pair of brothers.
They kind of do that with Syndicate.
Done.
They did have two people in Syndicate.
In Syndicate, it's a twin brother and sister, and at times you have different people for different missions. Because one of them's skilled at one thing.
Yeah, but could you hot swap? Is what I'm saying to the other character, like at any time.
You can switch to the other character at any time. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, do you have to go out into a menu? Like, explain it.
I think you literally, like, from what I remember, you just have to hit a button and you switch.
And then it then like GTA 5, it swaps over to that character wherever that character.
Yeah, although I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm imagining you have moments locked out during specific missions or whatever, but like
there definitely is.
What they did obviously in GTA 5, you could just literally swap between Trevor.
I can't remember if it just like switches to you're the same. I can't remember if it switches to you're the new character in the same spot, or if it switches to where the other character is. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've played Syndicate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because that's what I was kind of getting at, is then you could set paths for these characters, and they'd have to be like GTA where they do things without you. So then they're kind of constantly, you know, and they could easily justify this. They have all those systems, so you could just have these secondary characters just basically be running your, you know, your sim management stuff, right? Where you got to send people away, you got to buy houses, like you know how all the games have all those freaking
now they do
microtransaction style freaking mini games to
build up your estate.
Meter management. I want to see meters go up, and don't get me wrong, I like seeing meters go up, but you know, it's nice when games give you let someone else manage this for you. You know, you can use that when you're playing different characters.
So we've been talking about Assassin's Creed for a while. Let's move on to what I hinted at the start. Destiny 2.
They had an official gameplay reveal recently. There was a bunch of details released in that, so maybe I'll bring that up to go over some of those details. But
was Kate 6 in it, Ryan?
We knew the game was coming. We saw the teaser trailer. Now we've seen gameplay. A lot of people have played it too. Some people checked it out at that event that they held where they released this trailer.
E3.
People who played it said it was real good. You know, like Giant Bomb's Jeff Gerstmann said that, I believe on his Twitter, he stated that it played like Destiny. It played like a really good Destiny mission, right? Which I mean, that's like the fact, like the issue is like no one's asking for Destiny to be this like mind-blowing story that changes our minds about video game stories. Like it's not going to be probably super to the point where you're like, oh man, my heart was so out for this super crazy plot. It's, you just want to have fun and shoot shit and have narrative reasons to be doing things.
Yeah, fun characters.
Yeah, I mean, I found the first Destiny 95% of the fun was just how good that game plays.
Oh, for sure.
It's
like
one of the best first-person shooting games I've ever played in terms of comfortability.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan, what were you saying?
Well, just the personality they put outside of it. Like, obviously MMOs have been doing this forever, but things like Slash Dance and just getting goofy with, in jokes for names of weapons and just things of that nature.
Yeah. Well, just like the moments that I always enjoyed the most was when we would be playing as a group. Like the coordination it would take, it wasn't always necessary, but it definitely enhanced things. Like they've always had enough varied enemy types that the way that you defeat them is different. Like I remember that there was I can't remember which one it was, but one of the 4 races, like literally the weak spot wasn't the head or some shit, right? You had to like hit like a weird alternate spot, and like you had to remember those things. Or like, okay, this guy's weak to this kind of gun, except that he's coming in with this kind of like, you had to like think about it, and just like the coordination we would have of like, okay, like I'm getting low in the blah blah blah, so I need you to come clear at the blah blah, and then I need to reload, and I'm out of gun bullets, and my ultimate's coming up in a second.
So let's just run down some of this information we got here for Destiny 2.
Yeah, hit us up with some of that good stuff, Ryan.
So
how's the tower doing?
You lose all your gear, and the tower will be destroyed in the first moments of the game. The shooting, a lot of people, the gameplay looks pretty much identical. The game has a clear foe from start to end, which is what they showed at the end there, a guy named Gull. There'll be more clan integration into the game. The clan and all its members will gain rewards from their participation based on activity level. So even if you don't have a lot of time to play, you'll still get stuff.
Your friends will get stuff for you.
Provided you play daily, you'll get stuff. Because it's just, they did it before where you have daily rewards, so it doesn't matter if
for just like showing up, like an activity check,
showing up for your day. Well, yeah, but like maybe you only show up and play an hour a day, but that's all you need to achieve what you need to accomplish in the game for the day to get the rewards, right? So even if someone plays 60 hours or 6 hours a day,
60 hours a day, let's
you're not going to get, you or him aren't going to get more rewards or less than each other from just, you're not getting punished for how little you play the game, which is good. That's
Yep.
An attempt is being done to allow solo players to participate in raids, nightfalls, and other end game activities. There will still not be matchmaking, but clans can host sessions which solo players are allowed to join.
Okay.
So, for example,
it's like
there's
5 of us
people and host a game for a raid, and then allow a single player to join.
Okay, that's probably good.
Yeah. Sparrows are still a thing, clearly. The beta is obviously coming out this summer. Here's some interesting things to note. It's going to be available for Xbox One, obviously, PlayStation 4, and they revealed PC. The first game was not available on PC. It's going to launch on PC through Blizzard's Battle.net, which is also some interesting news.
Yeah. Man, I would almost suggest we do it on PC.
No cross-play or cross-save, so...
No, I would almost suggest we do PC, but I don't think that Ryan's potato could handle it.
That's by September, but the PC version will have 4K support, uncapped frame rate, and 2099 support and field of view slider. So it looks like a PC version. The console versions will be locked at 30 FPS.
I was gonna say I do have some additional changes that were announced this week too, more to like the weapon system. It was announced yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
You're not done? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I have a giant post up here that I'm looking through here, so it kind of explains a lot of this stuff. Since we're going in depth here, and I know we'll have a lot of thoughts. Anyway, the fact that there's a PC version, crazy. This is crazy. The fact that it's through Blizzard. For those who don't know, Activision Blizzard is they're kind of partners. The companies obviously work together, but this is like the first case of this happening. All the games that you can traditionally get on Battle.net right now are all Blizzard-only games.
Yep.
It's Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft, 1
Hearthstone.
and 2, Hearthstone, Diablo. I don't think they host servers for Diablo 1 or 2, but they do host servers for Diablo 3. They might not actually host servers for StarCraft 1 either.
They don't. Just 2.
It's just StarCraft 2, yeah.
Yep.
And then obviously Heroes of the Storm, which was their MOBA. So yeah, like this is crazy. The fact that you'll be able to go on there, see all those pivotal titles and look down and go Destiny 2. I mean, that's that's a big hit to Steam. Like that now, Steam is not going to get any of the Destiny 2 PC users, right?
Nope.
That's crazy. And there's going to be a lot of them. I know a lot of people who didn't play Destiny 1, not just for lack of content, but even when things got fixed in Taken King, they're PC only gamers. They, the PC Master Race people,
Hashtag PC Master Race. Yeah, Shane.
they wanted to get involved, and it turns out that the PC Master Race people tend to love Blizzard. So this cross partnering is probably not going to be.
It was a good move for both
problem.
companies.
Well, they work together. They are the same company. Like that's the people forget
okay.
that it's Activision Blizzard.
didn't.
That's the name of the company. It's just.
Oh, really?
This is the first case of them doing really anything like cross together, right? Like for the most part, it's just Activision's reaped benefits of because they essentially bought Blizzard, but Blizzard was doing enough and big enough that it was like, okay, you're Activision Blizzard. I mean, you could look it up. I'm probably getting details wrong.
No, I didn't know that they were distinct at all, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you go to their website, it's ActivisionBlizzard.com. Like that's literally the name of the company. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
What other things have we?
So we're gonna get into classes here and some other details. So
I'm assuming all the old ones will still be around.
The game's only gonna have the same 3 classes: Titan, Hunter, and Warlock.
Okay.
Each class once again has 3 subclasses, just like before, based on each of the 3 elements. Just
are
like
they starting with all 3 this time?
Arc, Solar, and Void. Each subclass. I'm just gonna keep detailing, and then you'll get your answers here.
Okay.
Each subclass has similar perk selection and roughly the same number of perks as the first game. There appears to be some augments on top of choosing which grenade, jump you want to use, etc. that was in the game before. But it appears you can choose all of them instead of just one, at least in each of the 2 trees. They require some type of material to unlock. Each and every class can clamber up obstacles. There is no sprint cooldown. You still get booted from the inventory when loading into a zone and match. Orbs of light are still a thing. Level cap is 20. Light level cap is unknown, possibly to 60. A small touch, but abilities icons in the HUD are now colored to reflect their element, which is kind of neat. So you can actually see what element you're using. So instead of like being confused or looking deeper, there's no more intellect, discipline, and strength stats on armor. Cooldowns associated with these stats are now locked. Instead, armor has new stats that seem to reinforce particulars of a certain class strength. For example, Titans get perks that increase their shield strength at the cost of mobility. There's no more increased armor and health for Guardians in their super. Guardians in their super take more damage from elemental attacks that match their subclass, and one entirely new ability that is class-wide, not bound to subclass, that they haven't showed, but there's some details on it here. Yeah. So the subclasses are different than what they were in the original game completely.
Okay.
But like I mean, the way they play might still be similar, but like they've rebuilt them.
Are we starting with 3 this time though? Like instead of last time it was 2, right? And then they added the third.
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Titans are once again intended as the punchers and tanks. Skating is still possible, but has been turned down significantly to the point where they're no longer the fastest class. Their role mostly resembles a frontline and a tank class. The Sentinel. His 2 are the Sentinel and the Striker. And then there's also the Sunbreaker, which is similar to the other returning classes, but there's been nothing specific on it that far. So the Sentinel super is, we don't know a name of it, but it looks like a void shield that you can use to block things, bash, or even hurl at them, Captain America style, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Fits in better with what the Titan should be, like thematically.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Striker super it's called Fist of Havoc.
It's a
and
poor choice of name.
Fist and shoulder into your enemies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The offensive one.
Indeed. There's the Hunter, obviously. The Hunter subclasses are the Arc Strider, the Gunslinger, and the Night Stalker.
Are those not the exact same names as before?
They might use some of these same names, but they have different abilities. So the super of the Arc Strider, which before was like this, I feel like it was it had a different name. It was like a shadow name or something. Maybe it was the Night Stalker I'm thinking of. But
yeah, because that one came in later.
You teleported between enemies, and then you had a bow, and then that was it, right? Then there was another one that I can't. Oh no, the gun.
The gun.
The gun. The golden.
The gun was the solar.
So this Arc Strider is different. It's you summon a spear, like you get this giant spear, and then you can like there's an image of it in the thread I'm looking at. It's huge. It's a super long spear, and then you can basically go all Keelik on people.
Nice.
And the Gunslinger, you summon a flaming pistol, disintegrates enemies with solar light. That seems pretty similar to
The old one.
The other one is basically Golden Gun. That's what they call it. So similar super there, and don't know anything yet about the Night Stalker. And for the Warlock, we have Dawn Blade, Void Walker, and Storm Caller. Yeah.
I know at least 2 of those were the same as Destiny 1. Not sure about the first one.
And it's similar. They use one's a solar, one's an arc. They're kind of all themed there. Weapon slots have been reworked. This is kind of a big deal. So instead of having a primary, secondary, and heavy, you now get a kinetic weapon slot, an energy weapon slot, and a power weapon slot. And you can equip any weapon in those slots, provided that the templates are obviously correct. So like if it's a kinetic weapon, you can put it. If you wanted 3 hand cannons that are 1 kinetic, 1 energy, 1 power, go nuts. You can do whatever you want there.
If you want to be McCree.
Snipers, fusion rifles, and shotguns are now considered power weapons. So they would be in the power weapon slot, and they occupy what once was the heavy slot. But they seem to be a little more powerful. There's a new weapon class, which is a grenade launcher, acts as a power weapon. Weapon mods are in the game, but we don't know much about them. It seems like they do have the same perk system for weapons, though, but it's going to be all new perks. There's still going to be swords and badass swords, as you saw in the trailer. There's also a new weapon class for submachine gun, which is similar to assault rifles, except it lacks the range, but they have more burst.
Have more of a faster rate of fire.
So for PvP, everything is back. But I believe they actually reduced the player count in one of the matchmaking modes. I think it's 4 versus 4 instead of 5 versus 5, which is what it was previously. It was either 5 versus 5 or 6 versus 6 previously. So now they're actually lowering it to 4v4 in every mode, or other than special modes, I imagine.
Yep.
A new multiplayer mode called Countdown, which is an objective mode where one team attempts to place and detonate an explosive, and the other team has to prevent it. Roll switch each round, so that to me that sounds like an Overwatch.
I was just about to say.
Trials of Cyrus will be back. It'll be renamed Trials of the Nine.
Chris looks very unimpressed.
Yeah, this is multiplayer. I'm just reading through here.
I'm sorry, Trials of the Nine?
Yeah.
This is Skyrim.
Yeah, that's a very Skyrim name. All right, so for PvE, so I hate to say it, but same basic activities of story missions, strikes, nightfalls, raids.
Don't say the P word.
The structure has been reworked. There are 4 worlds to explore: Earth, Titan, Nessus, and Io. Each have all new zones. All claim to be much larger than before.
Yeah, one of those is a moon of Jupiter.
They look very unique and distinguished. The other planets are straight up destroyed, it seems. Like no more Venus, Mars, Moon, or Dreadnought. Planets have increased player support for up to 26 players now. Some zones on the planet are claimed to be at least twice as large as the largest zone they had made previously. So there'll be lots to go. There'll be towns on the new planets, at least one on Earth.
Oh, cool.
Probably on others.
Because the only I guess that makes sense. The only town before was
landing
tower
to start, so you don't always have to start at the same spot. You can pick where you want to land. 3 new planets will be released over the life of Destiny 2. And if the planets are big enough in scope and scale, that sounds okay. They say that it's going to be better focused on solo play. All activities can be done without going back to orbit. Finally, let's a clap. That deserves a clap. It took them long enough. I'm sorry, but like the idea that you would have to go back to do another mission on Earth when you're already on Earth, like, get out of here. Just let me go to the thing.
Yep. No more loading screens.
Still has public events, patrol missions.
No.
Such.
Right, I said don't say the P word.
But
I'm okay with that.
No, not patrol.
Also has quests and adventurers given by quest givers. Hidden areas on all planet have their own unique boss and loot. Map has been improved. Public events are a given example to now show up on your map when they will appear and where, so you actually have an idea of when they're going to come. Strikes are similar in design to the later strikes that were added in Destiny, but even more elaborate. Bosses often have different phases of battle. Similarly, the Nightfall that everyone loved to do now has a regular version and a heroic, and you can do matchmaking in the regular version, but you cannot do it for heroic, but you can do the guild stuff. Yeah, that's basically it, and then it's just some clan stuff. So Destiny 2. So
hold on.
No confirmed.
I don't think you mentioned one thing. Brad.
What?
At least I didn't hear it. Grimoire cards are gone.
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't see that, but they are obviously gone. That's because there's going to be cutscenes and story.
The game's ruined, man. Grimoire cards are gone.
Okay. Yes, the best thing of all
God.
time, Grimoire cards.
Oh,
So for those, we probably discussed this previously, but the three of us put a lot of time into Destiny. I put so many hours. I could look it up. Probably.
You put more
You know
than
what? I can.
yeah. What's the website? I want to look up how many I did.
Yeah, let's do this.
How much time or something like
Time wasted on Destiny, I think.
that? Yeah.
They have one for League,
Yeah.
which my numbers would shock you.
Wastedondestiny.com. I was a PlayStation user. Thank you very much.
Yep. That you were, Chris. That you were.
But I was. Oh God, that's too much.
How much is yours?
Brian's gonna be
118 hours.
Mine's gonna be less,
Kyle?
I think. It's loading. Give it a sec. You got to go last though, Ryan, because yours is gonna be fucking disgusting. There was a guy who was just shy of 12,000 hours though.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So Chris is at 118.
Yeah, mine's going.
What is the time on that? What does it say at the bottom?
4 days, 22 hours, 14 minutes, and 7 seconds.
Oh no.
36 hours.
Oh no.
How much, Ryan? You played it a lot at the very
185 hours. 1
Wow.
week, 17 hours, 8 minutes, 13 seconds.
That's probably not a lot to a lot of people.
It's
crazy.
No, but I've maxed out every class for the most part.
Brian,
And
I did too.
Despite 185 hours, I've never beaten a raid.
Me
So
either.
we did almost get into that one.
I mean, I could in a second. But
there's no matchmaking, so trying to.
I have a buddy who's.
I got
probably
close a couple of
played
times. I've
thousands.
seen end of raids. To be fair, I did join a raid with a group just as they were finishing it, but I didn't get credit for beating it. Probably no, because we dropped it and died.
I have the trophy for it. I don't know how, but I have the trophy for it.
Like if there was matchmaking, I would have done that in a heartbeat. But yeah, I obviously played a lot.
We're gonna change that with Destiny too, right, guys? We're gonna do raids.
Yes. Yeah.
We wanted to last time.
I know. It's just
anyway.
Kyle kind of got into it a little late. Like
the thoughts on this new game. No
Looks
confirmation on space combat, which kind of sucks.
There wasn't
not
confirmation,
but the trailer showed. But that could have been cutscene.
It's cutscene for sure.
That kind of bums me out. Like even if they only put it in as a little mini game, like I want to customize my ship to look like me and then land it on a planet and then get out of it. That'll be. I don't care if you make me land in a zone or a dock, whatever.
Here's what I would want, Ryan. You know what we used to use for the tower? I want to just have to fly to a place. It's in space now, and like you just fly up to like a docking port and you do it there.
Yeah, and I don't even care if they do the docking automatically, or I hold X and then it fills, or square and it fills up a meter, and then we dock with a pre-cutscene animation. I just want to be flying something, and I want to guide my I don't know. It's just because you're gonna be making me sit there and watch it anyway. So it's like, why can't I just have a little control over it and goof around? You know?
Yep.
I mean, I agree. I really doubt there's gonna be actual gameplay in the ship.
I wonder if I bet you.
Ship combat.
There's going to be no free-form ship combat, like where you just have a mode where you're outside in your ship. However, I bet you there's going to be cutscenes, or sorry, not just cutscenes, missions during the
on-rail shooting,
where you're basically being able to, like Call of Duty style, control your ship and shoot it, but like just for like 20 minutes of a section, kind of like how
on rails. They'll do the flying
sort of
for
on
you.
rails,
Just do that.
but kind of like how Saints Row did it, Chris. How you could control the ship for some of the sections in space there or whatever, but like not for the whole game. I could easily see that, but
I also want to fight.
That'll
ships.
be better than nothing, to be fair. Yeah, I would like to fight spaceships with your rocket launcher, right? You mean like come in, they're enemies.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't even mean like I want to fight ships from the ground. I want them
that's
to coming at me, and I'm like, no. Yeah.
You want to space Jedi some ships out of space?
Hell yeah, I do. I want to take a fucking solar gun.
There was a great bit in underrated games, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, where I mean the game was a glitchy mess, but
yes, it was.
You do some crazy cool shit. The gameplay was real cool, but there was a sequence where you literally pull down a Star Destroyer with the Force, and it hits the ground.
Does happen. I can confirm.
And it's pretty awesome and dumb.
That's a pretty good
I
moment.
liked it.
Yeah. Anything else with Destiny, Ryan? Destiny 2?
I'm excited to play it. I kind of am surprised there's no new classes. There's nothing. It's not a negative. I'll know, that I want to be a hunter right away. That's the first class I played last time, and I like that class because they're good. they're good with accuracy, but at the same time, I really love Cap. In America, that is, and the ability to throw a kinetic shield.
Yeah, Ryan, how do you turn that down? Really?
Yeah, but you can't use it all the time. It's a super. Like that's the thing. As cool as the supers are, it's like you build to that.
Yeah.
The overall flow of how the hunter works, where he throws a blade, and I'm assuming he's going to throw a blade in this one. Maybe not,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see how all that stuff plays out.
Who's to say?
I'm just looking forward to maybe being able to group up with people and do multiple story missions without having to go back to orbit. Can you imagine that? We'll be able to get into a group, load once into Earth, and then just run around and play. We don't have to worry about getting kicked out.
Well, assuming that the servers aren't a fucking mess when it opens, which
they
will be.
And I don't know. I'll give their PvP another chance. I've actually played more of their PvP than I'm happy to admit.
Apparently, there's
not bad Destiny's PvP, but
big improvement. I was reading a lot of people were saying it has more of a Halo feel.
Yeah.
Rather than last time, which I kind of didn't seem like it. It kind of felt put together.
For me, the issue is always like, I'm going to begrudgingly do this PvP to earn the gear that they give me for doing it.
Yes, right? That was exactly how it felt.
That was literally the only reason. There was a couple, I've had good PvP Destiny matches, don't get me wrong, with you guys even. I've had good PvP Destiny matches with you guys. It's just, yeah, it doesn't feel as good. It didn't. So hopefully it's improved. It looks like it might be. That explosive mode sounds pretty cool. It needs to be goofy. There needs to be more goofy modes. Yeah.
That is true.
That's pretty much my thoughts there with Destiny 2. I don't know. It'll be tough to say until I actually see how everything's structured. Hopefully the DLC is just as good too. Like if they said 3 new planets, how big do you guys think these planets are going to be? That's what I want to know.
I want planet size. I want to scale.
They said it's like twice as big as the biggest thing they made in Destiny, and I'd say the Dreadnought was the biggest thing they made in Destiny, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
That was like a giant Star Destroyer style ship with lots of space on it. So if you were to double that, that seems for a zone on a planet, and you think it's not always just going to be that confined, right? You'll be able to travel in between it. To me, this sounds like each planet's going to be the size of a Dark Souls game. Like in terms of how things, because they already did this. They already did this in Destiny, but where the
Destiny Souls 2,
where all the characters interconnect, right? Or sorry, all the landmarks, like all the different map locations, all interconnect with each other in some way because that's how you travel from place to place. Turns out.
Yep.
So it'd be nice if they expanded that a little. And it's like, oh, you have to go through this long underground tunnel on your Sparrow, and it's dark, and there's just like lights, and you're just like.
And maybe there's enemies occasionally, but you don't know when.
And on the other end, you're on a completely different.
And then you take out your VR goggles, and it's VR Destiny.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. Anyway,
we can't afford VR goggles.
Yeah. The scale, we'll see.
I'm
excited to play it.
Do we want to quickly talk about the Square Enix news?
Before we get, you know what? We'll end on positive news, and we can also end on teasing the future. But
future's now, Ryan.
There was some upsetting news that happened for fans of IO Interactive and their amazing game that released last year called Hitman.
Hitman was really good.
We are all played it. We all played the hell of it. Obviously, people know we're GB fans too. That was a big deal on that site last year. Some of the best content that they produced came out of Hitman, and kind of got, I know, us and a lot of other people to buy the game and realize, oh my God, I've always been a fan of the Hitman franchise. My friend there, or why do I say my friend? Shane.
Shane, that guy who's on the show a lot? Yeah.
Yeah. Played a lot of it when I was growing up, and we had a blast playing. Blood Money was our favorite. And it just like Blood Money's the best moments of Blood Money were the 3 or 4, I'd say, really good levels. And Hitman, this new one that came out last year,
just
basically that experience extrapolated to its T. It was like, just here's a level, and bigger scale than you could have ever imagined. The levels were like what you dreamed the levels could be. It was literally a Hitman game out of your dreams.
Is it kind of like when everyone was like, man, Mario Sunshine's okay, but like I wish that someone would make an entire game of just the floodless sections, and then they were like, oh, cool, here's Mario Galaxy.
Maybe I don't have any affinity for those games. I actually put Mario Galaxy down.
Ooh, Ryan Power shitting on Mario Galaxy.
I'm not shitting on it. There is a great game there. Too bad you have to control it with a Wii mote.
I've actually never played it.
Homie.
Homie?
Yeah. There's a song that's like that. Fuck that, homie. You can Anyway, it's
Ryan, you're gonna get a copyright infringement. God.
Just don't mean a thing. Fuck that, homie. Anyway, I listen to Triple J, so that's an older singer who It's like
Who's the singer,
Paul
Ryan?
Kelly. I don't remember. It's a rap artist called AB Original, and they are Aboriginals from
Oh,
Australia.
it took me a
Yeah,
second
you
to get
get it.
that. AB Original is a
And there was
terrible
an
name.
older, I think it was Mr. Paul Kelly. They sing a cover of with a song.
Fuck that, homie.
But I think that's actually a different song. I think this actually might be their own song.
Well,
Anyway,
I'm glad that we got that sorted out.
indeed. I didn't play a lot of the Wii time. Nintendo
Can't blame
games,
you.
Kyle. I tried both
I
Skyward
never
Sword
owned a
and
Wii.
both Galaxies.
Actually, sorry,
and,
we do own a Wii now. It's hard to remember.
And I can't get over the Wiimote was a great thing to play Wii bowling on or like things like that. But when I wanted to play seriously, it just
I actually really dug Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
Oh, I played that game so much on PlayStation 2 that by the time it came out on the Wii, I was like, man, I've already beaten this game 3 times.
It is the only console that I've liked that game on. Controls-wise. Controls-wise, like how it handles.
Controls-wise, that game controlled great on PS2.
Well, I didn't own a PS2, Ryan.
What was the alternative? What else were you playing on? Like a Dreamcast or some shit?
GameCube was the alternative.
GameCube.
Ooh,
that's when it first came out, Kyle. That's actually what it came out on.
Oh,
yeah. PlayStation. My first
PS4.
My first PlayStation was PS4, and I'm not even crazy about it controls-wise on PS4. Wii, I don't know, man. It worked for me. The ability to completely control the looking with one joystick,
it's still an old Resident Evil game. It controls, as people might remember, the old Resident Evil games control where you can't shoot and move at the same time, which doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't control like a Gears of War or a Call of Duty. Gears of War is obviously more prevalent because that's a third-person shooter. But even Uncharted controls way better. But that's because you can cover shoot. In Resident Evil, you actually have to do this with a button. And the moment you're not holding that button, you can't shoot because your gun is down. And then you have to run and interact.
You can't literally hold your gun out and run at the same time, like people. That sounds awful.
It's just you have to hit a button to aim and then a button to shoot. And that's not how.
There's not even like a firing from the hip option.
You hit a button to shoot. You hit a button to aim down the sights, which makes you move slower, like you're crouching and aiming down the sights. And shoot
in return for better accuracy.
Or you don't have to hit a button and you'll just blanket fire.
Running gun.
You'll just shoot.
Fire from the hip is the term you're looking for, Ryan.
If that existed in Resident Evil, there'd be no challenge in those games because part of the games are designed that your movement impairment is actually pivotal in the way enemies move.
Yeah, it's like the original Castlevania.
I don't know when did you play? Well, Chris would have played Resident Evil 4 later then, because if you first played it on Wii, then it would have been years after it came out.
I played it. I don't know. I got the Wii the first year it came out, and that's the first game I got after Red Steel.
Okay. God, yeah, because Resident Evil 4 came out it came out several years before that. So the control scheme when it came out wasn't as outdated as it is now, so it wasn't really a big deal. And playing through that game for the first time, like I'll never forget the first level. Even you probably know what I'm talking about when you get into the town and then the chainsaw dude shows up and you just lose your mind.
That's actually one of the hardest. Like that's a fairly hard. Like I just played it recently, right? That's actually a fairly hard part of that game.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't really know the controls and stuff. Like it's just right off the bat, they throw you right into it.
You know how hard the game would be. Like what happens when I die to this chainsaw dude and he just one hits you? He literally just cuts your head off the moment you get near him. It's like, okay, you're really amping this up. I have to kill this dude or run. I get it. That was a good game.
You're not going to face tank any of those chainsaw shots.
No, you're not. But we were talking about IO, and they're dropping Hitman. Hitman was
a real bummer. Super good game.
IO is getting dropped from Square Enix. So I believe that IO actually still owns the rights to the Hitman franchise. And apparently the franchise or IO is in discussions with potential new investors to pick up the company. I guess they also have options as it relates to crowdfunding. I'm sure they have options if they wanted to go that route. You guys were mentioning off the air too that there was a tweet by IO Interactive that says, thanks for tweeting us. There's a lot going on right now and we'll have more to say at a later point, but for now they're going back to making video games. So this obviously sucks because it wasn't anything officially announced, but the developers have basically publicly said we really liked the format we did for season 1. We really liked the reception. Obviously sales I think picked up. And I don't believe their own game sales contributed to them being let go. I believe it had to do with Square Enix, who lost a lot of money on some over-budgeted games, not named Hitman. Hitman actually didn't have that crazy of a marketing budget. It wasn't until it won until the end of the Christmas time, where I started seeing commercials for Hitman, because that was like the point when it's like the whole season had aired, everyone had realized we love this thing. It was getting crazy good reviews. They even released a disc copy at that time.
Yep.
But that was kind of its big marketing push. But Square had released some notable big games. They also released Final Fantasy 15 last year. They have a bunch of bigger titles on the docket. And they just determined that IO wasn't part of their long-term goal. They wanted to put more money on other things. For those who don't know, Square as a company lost approximately $43 million, so 4.989 billion yen in costs, associated with divesting itself of IO.
That's a lot of yen.
Yeah, that's what they lose just by parting ways with IO, because they allowed IO. Well, I think IO actually did own a lot of the properties, right? So this is basically just Square saying we don't want. This would be like if Disney let go of Marvel. Obviously, way bigger scale and way bigger numbers and stuff into that stuff. But yeah, it sucks. But hopefully there's still a season 2 at some point. Hitman was awesome. Oh my goodness, I still play it. Every now and then. I still haven't shown it to Shane, believe it or not. As a Hitman fan, he hasn't had time to check it out yet. But
oh my dude, Shane needs to. That needs to be a feature. Shane seeing it for the first time.
Extinguisher. Oh my goodness, you're right.
Ryan, we need to make that a feature.
Oh man, Shane sees Hitman. An old Hitman fan who hasn't yet.
Smickdan?
Yeah.
Smickdan? Yeah, I was trying to do like because I keep on thinking of Hitman. I know. I forget that it's not called Hitman.
We'll worry about that later.
I usually come up with better titles later when I have time.
Hearts go out to IO, and hopefully we see season 2, because Hitman is awesome.
Oh man, I want to see Shane do. So much.
So
like, what would
he wrap up here? So you can keep talking, Kyle. I just wasn't interrupting.
Sorry, no, it's okay. I was just trailing off on thoughts. Give us wrap.
We got some positive news to end on. More game news. There's other stuff game news related to that we're missing. Injustice 2 came out this week. There's a bunch of stuff going on. But in 2 days' time, this group here, probably Yeselmania too, our boy Matthew Lynch, should get on Overwatch, because Blizzard Entertainment will celebrate Overwatch's first birthday on May the 23rd.
That's like so soon.
There will be a new event that adds new maps, cosmetic items. It will add new skins. There's a little trailer here that shows some of the skins. They look pretty cool. There's going to be a bunch of new maps, as I mentioned. There'll be an event. There's new dance emotes.
New character with this?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would have been a really good time to do it.
New voice lines.
Ooh.
Yes, it kicks off Tuesday, May 23rd and runs through June 12th. So for those who don't know, we are already doing a weekly Overwatch feature. We have the Overwatch Academy. And
Professor Ryan Power
by Chris and Lynch last time, because they were both busy. But this week, we all got to get together, I'm sure, and check out some Overwatch in celebration. I mean, it's a year since the game launched, so we might as well throw confetti. There'll be special team loot boxes. There'll be us.
Maybe Chris will finally be able to say Torbjorn's name properly. Although I'm not banking on it.
I said it properly the last game we played. I mentioned it to you too. And you were like, "Oh yeah, good crap." No, twice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Purposely did.
To be fair though, Chris, was it because of that awesome?
We've been playing a bunch even off stream of Overwatch together.
Can we just say I don't know if it was streamed or not. I think it wasn't. My play of Torbjorn was
almost got it. Torbjorn. It's Torbjorn.
Give a fuck.
Todgeborn.
Yeah, Todgeborn.
Todd
Terminator. Yeah. Just sitting there with your turret and just hitting it whole time.
Nobody hits a turret like you do, Chris.
No. I love that it was play of the game.
Yeah.
That was my hope.
That
it was going to be play of the game. It was just going to be me hitting the turret the entire time.
And it was.
This Bastion looks really like, and wow, that one's cool. Pharaoh. Oh man. Oh my God, that soldier.
Oh, Ryan says Pharaoh wrong every time.
Oh my God, that Zarya. Skins. Overwatch skins. Skins are so.
Speaking of skins, and
like,
Ryan,
like
I have the.
He's got a VR thing. It's like Jordan LaForge. It's like that thin. Oh man, it looks so good.
I have the enough.
Oh man.
I have enough coins to buy any skin the entire game, so I'm saving up for.
done that like 3 times,
know.
and you should do it. You should do it. It feels so
I'm
good.
debating. I'm debating whatever soldier one's the best because I've been
I
liking
bought a
him
new
lately.
somber one. Oh, those
I don't know, Chris.
skins.
Your Reaper's pretty good.
I don't really play Reaper much anymore.
I know, it's weird.
I really have not had much fortune.
I don't know. You know what Ryan's learned? That you don't want to be partnered with a May if you're Reaper, because occasionally the May will have a really ambitious, awesome plan, and then he'll actually just fuck it up and then throw overtime.
So yeah,
Mhm.
that should probably do it for this week's controllers and keyboards, right, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've gone longer than the 30 minutes we wanted to go.
Yeah, absolutely, which was to be expected, I think.
Yeah, but
It's us.
We had plenty to talk about.
We did.
There's still more that we're playing. We'll digest a little more. I got to soothe in some Uncharted. Chris has got a.
How you liking Sam Ryan?
Chris has got to hold on. I'll just finish my pun. Chris has got a sweet Horizon soaking in the tub. I don't know. I'm trying to do wine. And
He's got some Zero Dawn on the horizon.
Not that crazy, but
he's got some Zero Dawn on the horizon. Come on, Ryan.
Sam's all right. He's a pretty good character.
Sam's great.
I didn't think they would make me care about him as much as I did.
You do care about him too, don't you? He's great.
A little.
Wait till you get to the thing, Ryan. Wait till you get to the thing.
The thing.
The thing.
Like, it's clobbering time, or
no. Like
Swamp Man, the Thing, monster movie.
No, Ryan. It's like the thing from.
Man, I can't stop thinking about frickin' Yuri's Revenge Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that sounds like a great game.
Wow, I'd play the shit out of that.
This has been Controls and Keyboards.
Ric Flair should be in it too.
Ric Flair?
Ric Flair.
Yep. Oh, it's some of like the terrible acting that they have. And it's like, all right, we've got our president characters, our general characters, and the hot girls who give you your missions, and like one notable actor, and Ric Flair.
When Dan Reichert said he talked to him about it in an event, Ric Flair had no recollection of that ever happening.
Wait, was he in one of the Red Alert games?
Ric Flair?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, Red Alert 3.
Oh, well, I didn't. That was.
You know what else Ric Flair's in, Brian?
It was what?
Saints Row.
Yeah.
Woo!
So was Hulk Hogan. So was Burt Reynolds.
No, I mean I made Ric Flair is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you did. You made Ric Flair.
Right. Thank you.
All right.
Thomas the Tank Engine Baby MVP, but Ryan is not.